Welcome to my third episode of the series of Is There Bad Governance in Nigeria? Is there bad governance in Nigeria has been asserted by the frontliners of the End Bad Governance protest currently ravaging the country. Now, this is my third series. I've done episode 1, episode 2, and this is the third and last episode. So if you have missed the first and second episode, make sure you go to my YouTube channel, make sure you go to my Facebook page, Polythink with Omoshola Deji on both platforms, and watch the episode 1 and episode 2 so that you can catch up with my analysis on those two previous episodes. So on this last episode, the third and last episode, I'm going to be answering the question that will lead us to the conclusion of whether there's truly bad governance in Nigeria. Now the question is there bad governance in Nigeria? People are protesting, people are clamoring. Now let's look at whether there's bad governance in Nigeria. In a country whereby you are borrowing excessively without the people feeling the impact, is that good governance or bad governance? So if the former administration of Muhammad Buhari borrowed huge sums of money, and the Tinubu government, the money Buhari borrowed in 8 years of his administration, the Tinubu government has borrowed almost that in just 1 year. Just 1 year. So can we say that that is good governance? And despite the borrowing, with government claim and assertion that government is now earning more from the removal of fuel subsidy. The government is earning more money now. So why are you borrowing more when you are earning more? You are saying you need to remove fuel subsidy so that you can earn more money to run government and to provide amenities and so on for the people. You remove the fuel subsidy, you are earning more. At the same time, you are borrowing more. And the people are not feeling the impact of either your excess earning that you've accrued from the subsidy removal, and also Nigerians are not also feeling the impact of the excessive borrowing. So when this happens, can we truly call that good governance? When you shamelessly go to meet the Bretton Woods institution, the World Bank and the IMF to get loans and aid, and at the end of the day, you now come into the country and say, oh, you have borrowed so billions of dollars. And at the end of the day, the people are not feeling the impact. Can we call that good governance? If we have a government that it is the IMF and World Bank that dictate what goes on in our economy, that when the government, out of desperation to collect loan from this World Bank, if the World Bank says, go and remove this subsidy on fuel, electricity, the government just go ahead without thinking about the repercussion on the citizenry. Can we call that good governance? And if we are to look critically, if we have a true and functional democracy, who is installing the government in a democracy? Is it the World Bank? Is there something we don't know? Or is it the vote of Nigerians? So if it is the vote of Nigerians that is bringing you to power, should you not be responsible to those Nigerians? Should you not think about the outcome of those Nigerians itself? So can we say that if the IMF and World Bank are dictating for our government what happens in our country and the government is obeying, can we call that good governance? Is that good governance? So can we blame Nigerians that are protesting that, hey, stop this? Can we blame them? Now, if you are in a country and you spend years to study abroad and you spend years to read, whether in Nigeria as well, and you can't earn an income that commensurates with your certificate, if there's no good working environment, can we say that there's good governance in that country, most especially if it is the same party that has been in power for the past 8 years plus the 1 year of Tinubu, that's 9 years? And like I usually say, that if 24 hours is a long time in politics, then either 8 years or 9 years, whichever one you prefer to reference to as regards the governance of the APC, it's like forever in governance. A year is like forever. If you want to limit it to the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu alone, a year is like forever. So for me, I think if you are not meeting the needs of the citizenry, if there's no job. Before I entered the university to study for my bachelor's degree in political science, before going abroad for my master's and PhD, there has always been people passing out from NYSC without jobs. I entered the university, people were still passing out without jobs. I graduated, I did my NYSC, people are still passing out without jobs. Until now, people are still passing out without jobs. In a country like that, where there is no clear pathway to success, can we truly say there is good governance? If you don't have a pathway that whether you are rich or poor, so long you are the citizen of that country, you can have a sure pathway to growth and success and become what you want to be. Can we say there's good governance in such a country? So can we say that Nigerians are just clamoring out of nothing, or there are genuine agitations? If you go to bed hungry, can we say there is good governance in such a country? So because there has been this narrative by the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that, it is the opposition that is sponsoring the End Bad Governance protest. And I ask myself that, does Peter Obi truly have the capacity to sponsor that kind of protest? With profound respect to the man, if the performance of the last election is anything to go by, Peter Obi does not have the capacity to influence that kind of protest, especially in the north. So what that tells us is this protest is an organic protest that has emerged from agitations of the people. But rather than government to listen, they have politicized it. And I think government took the risk of letting the protest continue because they think they've had all areas covered. They believe that, we've called on the traditional rulers, we've rolled out money to different civil societies and groups. Well, let them go ahead with the protest. It's not going to amount to anything. But your guess is as good as mine. It backfired. So, government now have to run helter-skelter. But should these protests have evolved if there's truly good governance? So I think there are great lessons for government to learn from this End Bad Governance protest. Now, let us look at this holistically. In Nigeria, there's total lack of amenities. Whether the health sector, whether the education, the roads, electricity, general infrastructure are so bad. So if that has been the case, and that is still the case, is that not bad governance? Can we remove the president from past government? Is the national leader of the party under the Buhari regime. He brought Buhari government to power. He's a former governor in Lagos State. If you still go to hospitals in Lagos State, whether private or state, there's still lack of amenities. There's insufficient bed. There's lack of qualified doctors. In such a society, is there good governance? Do Nigerians have the right to protest? Now, let me share a story with you. I had a relative that had the need to consult them at the Igbobi Orthopedic in Lagos. Orthopedic hospital is the hospital where they work on bones, joint issues, and all that. And for them to snap an X-ray, the government lab is not functioning. They said the X-ray machine has a fault, but right there inside the Igbobi hospital, in that same hospital, the same section, there is a private establishment there that is doing scan for people that have issues with their health. Imagine that. So now tell me, will government facility ever function in such arrangement? So why did the private enterprise, why is it not set outside Igbobi Orthopedic? Why is it not established outside Igbobi? Why is it inside Igbobi Hospital, right beside the government scan factory? Why? Why beside the government scan laboratory, right inside Igbobi? Who approved it? So in a situation whereby Nigerians are being ripped off at every given opportunity, can we say there is good governance? If Nigeria doesn't have the freedom to vote and be voted for, if they are being intimidated by tout, by hooligans, by ragtags, by scallywags, by street urchins, and they are getting away with it. Is there true governance in such a country? If those that you see that are building luxury houses, expensive cars, fast cars, if they are ragtags, if they are the uneducated, the likes of MC Oluomo, if they are the people that are living large in a country and professors are insufficiently paid and people work their ass out from 8 to 5 to earn a meager sum of money that even before the middle of the month, the salary is finished. As a banker, as an engineer, can we say there is really good governance in such a country? That brings me to the conclusion that in Nigeria, there's not only bad governance, but there's mammoth bad governance. There's monumental bad governance. Unprecedented, remarkable bad governance. And I think, to my mind, if the colonialists feel that Nigeria will be as bad as this, maybe they wouldn't have granted us independence the time they granted us independence, because Nigerian politicians have been largely behaving like spoiled brats. They've been behaving like spoiled children. Their insatiable quest for resources is sickening. So there's bad governance in the country. I hope I've been able to establish that. I don't know your conclusion. I don't know your comment, your opinion. Feel free to share with me. Feel free to drop it in the comment. But as for me and my household, we feel there's bad governance in the country and the protest is timely and it is worth it. I remain your guy, Dr. Omoshola Deji, political scientist, public affairs analyst. Please stay tuned if you are here to subscribe to my channel on YouTube or you are here to follow my page on Facebook. Please do that so that you don't miss any of my episode, because I'm going to drop in it as it ought right here on Politing with Omoshola Deji, your one and only political scientist. Till I see you again in my next episode, stay blessed.